And now for our feature presentation.
Yo, who say you gotta be a big man to compete in the NBA?
Not us, Shorty.
That's right. Allen and Jerome. That's us. We gonna creep on in.
Creeping like a creeper.
And drop some Stephon Marbury inner city funk. I'd love to see the face of the fool trying to D my slamming moves to the hole. Yo, David, you may be bigger than me, but you need to get yourself some Coppertone lotion.
Why that, baby?
Cause you just got burned.
Hey guys, sorry for the late ass upload. I fell asleep like right at, in the middle of the night and didn't wake up till like the crack of dawn because I was just dozing off just watching YouTube. But I'm here now to bring you my recap of last night's truck race and the Spurs game, the penultimate Spurs game of the season. So we'll start off with the truck race. It was overall a solid race. It wasn't all that bad, but it wasn't all that great either. So therefore it was borderline solid to good. It was the Chandler Smith show all the way around, even though my boy Daniel Hemrick sat on the pole, even though I thought he was going to have an easy cakewalk to this, but nope, I was wrong. Chandler had a better truck than him. I mean, there was some action. It wasn't too much of a snooze fest, but it wasn't that big of a crash fest either, even with Chandler Smith dominating the whole thingamajig. So, therefore, I know Kyle Larson had a shot at, getting him to, complete the Triple Crown, the sweep of the weekend like Kyle Busch did twice. But obviously, since we know he won the Busch race today, the Chandler Lock 250, I mean, since he didn't win last night, I guess it wasn't meant to be. But Bailey Curry with the underdog run, I got to give him the driver of the night from last night. He had a career night, and I thought he was actually going to maybe pull off a win, if not a top 5. But unfortunately, that one caution restart, he had mechanical failure, and that career night just went out the window, and my heart broke for him, considering, I believe the caution was out for rain at that time, even though I thought something happened, like a wreck that I didn't know about, or there was debris on the track or something. But luckily, that rain shower, there was only maybe a minute or two, and it just Mother Nature decided to fuck off and just let us keep racing, and so therefore we ended up getting the full race in. It only rained for the first half of the day on Friday, which was enough for us to get the truck race in and in its entirety when night hours came. But Chandler Smith, he finally got back to victory lane in the Craftsman Truck Series after coming back after some time in the Busch Grand National Series, considering this is his first win since his last full-time truck season. So I couldn't be any happier for him. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, Larson did try many different tricks to try to catch up to him, or let alone pass him. But Chandler Smith had the better truck, and Larson's truck just went away from him. And Chandler Smith, I love how enthusiastic he was in his interview, cussing on TV, which you used to get penalized for, but apparently a long time ago they abolished that rule. And then of course the Fox broadcast ended up catching the crew member cussing on TV, the audio picked it up. That's what I was trying to say. But it's so funny nowadays when they cuss on TV, knowing damn well you won't get penalized for it. So congratulations to Chandler Smith on his win.
Okay, the Spurs and the Suns. Now, I would have done a voiceover for this, but there's no highlights with the Spurs commentary version of the game, so I'm going to have to go back to the old-fashioned way since basically technically there's nobody here, because my mom just decided to go out, and my grandfather is asleep, so therefore technically I'm all by myself. So therefore I'm in a situation where I can actually do the talk out loud, talk in front of the camera and talk in front of the camera and into the phone thing. So therefore yeah, so I know this is the penultimate game of the season and also the last road game of the season, but man, that was stressful to watch last night. I mean, we were off to a decent start, I guess. We're off to a decent start. I mean, we played really good in the first quarter, but then we came out flat in the second quarter and let the Suns, get back into it, and we put some clutch there was nowhere near clutch. Hell no. There was some key baskets that, we could have, nailed to keep us ahead, but we missed them, and it gave the Suns an opportunity to cruise into the lead and eventually, just never look back. And, we ended up getting blown out. But sure, we're a shitty team, and so are the Suns. The Suns are an even shittier team. But it was battle of the shit stains, I guess, between once former playoff contenders that once dominant where the one team once dominated the other back in the both of their heydays, which the Spurs used to dominate the Suns back in the whole team's heydays, with the exception of 2000 and 2010, because 2010 was the start of a new decade, and they got the last laugh on us, considering the 2000s were over and we were going to the 2010s, and I just moved back to Ohio, back from the Lenore house in Michigan, to be with my family again when I turned 16, and they swept us, 4-0 in the second round. And the only reason why they won in 2000 was because Duncan was out of the playoffs because of that knee injury that was, suffered in the 78th game of the season in Sacramento against the Kings. So, therefore, those were the days, man. Now we're both, bad teams, fighting for lottery picks, and it was just a battle of the tankers, Shout out to the Crutch of Doom, Dave Allen Baker, my neighbor, for coming up with the nickname Tankers. Well, if we're tankers, I guess so are the Suns, because they were also eliminated from playoff contention not too long ago. So it was the battle of both shit teams, and the one shit team got the best of the other. It was the Suns, getting the best of us like they did in both teams' heyday, in 2000 and 2010 in the playoffs. So therefore, it was just, potentially for the last time, it was like the young guns, not for the last. Here's what I mean. For potentially the last time, it was we were making things interesting, making a potential comeback where, Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul got benched the whole the second half, not because they were playing bad, but they want to get that 82 game streak, tomorrow, against the Raptors, when my girlfriend is here while watching the Food City 500 at Bristol, which I will have a video talking about that race on Monday, since the weather's not looking. It's looking decent, but not decent enough to our Sandy Ridge video on Monday. So they want to get that 82 games played streak in without them, jeopardizing their health. So Mitch Johnson sat them in the second quarter, let the young guns run, and the young guns could potentially give us one final, whole potential. Here come the San Antonio Spurs episode where they were making things interesting. So therefore, that was potentially the last time we were going to see us, trying to make things interesting after getting blown out for the majority of the mainly in the the most of the second quarter and almost all of the second half, where
Stop it. Get some help.
Sorry about that, folks. What was I saying? I'm having a bit of a brain fart. So therefore, since Paul and Barnes were sitting in the second half to keep not take a risk on their health, in order to achieve that streak of 82 consecutive games played in the one whole season. So the young guns gave us one final glimpse of glory of making things interesting. One final glimpse at the comeback kids, like Jacob Toby loved them towards the beginning of the year when everything looked like it was promising, when we were like 20-12 on the season, when we had a semi good record, which was actually a winning record, if you all know what I mean. So therefore, considering we were down big, the good chunk of the second half, like a good chunk, the middle to the mid. We were down, for a good chunk of the second quarter, from the midway point of the second quarter all the way to the end of the second quarter. We were down, and then for the almost majority of the third quarter, almost all the third quarter, I should say, and and most of the fourth quarter, we were down, but we were somehow making things a little bit interesting. But we just didn't have enough gas in the tank, and we ran out of steam. So therefore, I think that'll be the last time we'll get to say, here come the San Antonio Spurs for my 28th season as a fan, because tomorrow will be it. So I have a feeling that we're probably going to blow the Raptors out. I hope I'm right, because I'm living La Vida Loca's alleged birthday, quote unquote alleged birthday. which we thought was March 23rd, but Desmond Child's records confirmed it was March 27th, not March 23rd, even though we all thought it was March 23rd. We blew out the Raptors, but you know the old saying, fanboy cap off, history doesn't always repeat itself, so therefore it could be different, but also could be the same, because sometimes history does repeat itself, so you just never know what's going to happen next. So we'll see tomorrow when my girlfriend's here, but right now I want to get off this thing and have some downtime, maybe drink something and eat something, and then we'll be on our way to bed, and we'll, after we shave the nasty ass whiskers, to make sure we look good looking for my wife tomorrow. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. See you all for tomorrow's video, which will be the 2024-25 San Antonio Spurs season in review video. And then Monday, after we stack them up like Kenny Wallace at Walmart while also going diecast hunting, we'll go over the race and, you know, do a little bit of a Walmart recap with our work folks. And most important of all, happy Dale Jr. 8th birthday yesterday to Elliot Wood, the son of Jackson Wood, and his beautiful wife Carly, who aka known as Carly Styles, or Feel Good with Carly, who I love very, very much. And of course, happy Matt Kenseth 17th birthday yesterday to Gage Butler. Carly Butler. That's the son of her sister Kaylee, and of course that's ended up being Carly's nephew alongside Winston. So shout out to Winston. Is your last name Butler too? Yeah, Winston Butler. Winston Butler. Better known as W-Dog 149. So I hope you guys had a great day celebrating Elliot and Gage's birthday yesterday. And I look forward to celebrating Carly's on June 5th, for what will be her Elliot Sadler 38th birthday. So see you later, everyone. Go Spurs. Go Spurs, bitch. Oh, mama.
Go, Spurs, go!
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.